Regular meeting Wednesday, December 9th, 2015. Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson?
Here.
Commissioner Capper?
Here.
Commissioner Branch?
Here.
Vice Mayor Holmes?
Here.
Mayor Adams?
Here.
Attorney Denhart?
Still here. You haven't let him go.
Okay, the first order of business is approval of the minutes for the regular meeting, November 12th, 2015.
Make a motion that we approve the regular meeting, November 12, 2015, as stated.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Capper?
Yes.
Commissioner Branch?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Holmes?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next, ratification of bills for October, November 2015.
Make a motion that we ratify the bills for November and December 2015.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Capper?
Yes.
Commissioner Branch?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Holmes?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next, the commission reports. I think the tree lighting Sunday was, for those of you that were there and attended, was a very good, large success. I think we had probably the most people we've had in a long, long time.
It was because of the hot cocoa.
Chowder.
The cocoa and the chowder, I think, did it. But, yeah, it was a very, very good success. Underground. When I say undergrounding, I'm talking about the overhead lines in town. We're still moving forward ourselves, North Reddington and Remington Beach, and moving forward with that. We got a first estimate price. It's not a concrete price, but we got close to price from Duke for doing just the electrical, not including Verizon and Bright House. But it was $320-something thousand to do it. All that money comes from Gulf Boulevard beautification, which is $1.7 million we get from the county, and all that will be taken out of that. Hopefully we can get going on that. We do really been busy with a lot of different stuff down in Madeira and everywhere else, so we're hoping to get on their agenda in the first part of the year to get that done.
Wasn't that cheaper than originally when you talked about it?
Oh, yeah. It was, when we first talked about it, and I went to Duke, well, at that time it wasn't Duke, it was Progress Energy. Probably 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years. The price then to remove the overhead lines was $600-something thousand. So right now they're saying $300 and something. So I thought if I waited another 5 years. But
I don't think so.
I don't either. And plus we've got to use that money in the next 3 or 4 years. So. That's about all I have. Then we do have, and I think Commissioner Henderson will probably talk about it. We have a boat parade, right?
On the 20th.
And we have a town parade.
That's Saturday,
That's this Saturday. Okay.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Be there, too.
So, anyway, that's all I have. And Vice Mayor Holmes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Seminole Fire and Rescue Fire Department services, there were no non-emergency fire responses for the time period. There were 2 emergency fire responses for the time period with an average response time of 8 minutes and 35 seconds. Emergency medical services, there were 8 non-emergency responses for this time period with an average response time of 6 minutes and 22 seconds. And 27 emergency EMS responses for this time period with an average response time of 5 minutes and 37 seconds. I'd like to, as far as emergency management is concerned, as we close out a very successful hurricane season, Steve Andrews and I attended a 2-day course at the EOC just to make sure, hopefully, that we're a little bit smarter next year. And the only reason why we were so successful in being ready in our town is because of the outstanding leadership, of course, of our mayor and our staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Holmes. Commissioner Capper?
As far as building permits, we're at, for the month of November, $27,028.76. We had 67 permits, no new construction. And majority of those were all remodeling, new windows, shutters, kitchen cabinets, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing is the city parking lot is complete, it's looking very good, and the pavers at DeBello Park was started today. I'd like to ask a question to the commission. I'd like to get a sign put up like when we're doing a project, some project like that, like your tax dollars at work or something, Remington Shores. Are we allowed to do that?
You're allowed to do that if it complies with your sign code, except at Del Bello Park, the Florida Community Trust. That was a $750,000 or $800,000 Florida Community Trust grant. And I know the grant agreement does require basically getting permission before you do anything there. I don't know if they would count temporary signage like that, but
We wouldn't have
you
it
would need to
time
check.
sign anyway.
Yeah, you would need to check those requirements. Or in your application to do the change, just show a sign it's going to be there. So.
Okay. That is it, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Capper. Commissioner Branch?
Yes, I have the police report, and tonight we have our police chief and his right-hand man there. And I'd like to say one more time that the first responders should get just as much credit as the guy flying the fighter airplane, because you're going in for a lot of things that's unknown. So don't forget your police department and your fire department. They are people that go in and have no protection. Usually when you go in, you don't know what you're going in. You're trained to do, when the man says jump, you jump and say how high, and that's it. And so you go in blind, so to speak. So I just really would like to let the chief know, and he can pass it on to the men that we think. And another thing is that when you see a police car stop at somebody's house, don't come to my house and ask me what happened. I mean, the first thing happens, everybody's over there, what happened? Well, you don't know nothing. I said, no, I don't know nothing. And I said, it might be classified, so so anyway, everybody wants to know what's going on with our police department and also with the fire department. Now, we had a little deal in Tampa when I was on the fire department. We had a street like Long Point that has no way out. Well, we'd get a lot of the fire department vehicles, and the ladder especially, and fire them up and go down to the end. And our police department very nicely come across and blocked off what you would say was First Street, and got out and said, show me where you live down here, and if you didn't live, you got a ticket. So I think that sometimes they're police chasers. And the other day, that's the only time that I've ever seen, and it would take somebody committing suicide to do it, was the day that they had the yard sale. Anybody in their right mind that got out in that yard sale really had to want to go to a yard sale, because these people had both doors open, sitting right in the middle of the road. They didn't care about anything or anything else. And the police were very smart that day. They stayed away from it. Anyway, it was too, but let me get on with this and cut out the foolishness. Traffic citations were down in Indian Shores and up in Reddington Shores, with the reverse trend in parking tickets. Traffic warnings were up slightly in Indian Shores, down in Reddington Shores. There was no traffic accidents in Indian Shores, however, traffic accidents were up in Reddington Shores, all with no reported injuries. Physical arrests were 80% down in Indian Shores and unchanged in Reddington Shores, so they ran them our way this time. Our police department is doing an excellent job. I cannot say enough for them, and also with the fire department. And I feel that your board, as you see here tonight, are trying to do the best thing and save the best and the money and do what's best for our city. And so far, I think we're the outstanding city in this group that runs along the Gulf. So that's all I have to say. Don't throw me out, please.
Thank you, Commissioner Branch. We'd never throw you out. Commissioner Henderson.
Well, just to shock the mayor, the only thing I have to say is happy holidays and have a healthy and happy new year, and see you all next year. That's it.
All right, thank you. On to old business, and that's the merit increase for Joseph Walker, the review of it from Commissioner Kaplan.
Looking for a motion to approve Joe Walker's,
Are you making a motion?
You making?
I can make a motion. I can make a motion?
I'd like to make the motion that we approve the pay raise for Joseph Walker.
I'll second that.
And you ought to have in there.
What is the dollar amount?
The
amount.
Well, let's round it up.
$20.58.
Let's
correct?
raise it up to the even dollar there, the 20 cent more, and make it 20, whether it be 22, I have it written down.
$21.
Okay, it's 21.80 now, and so let's make it 22.
No,
No.
no.
No,
Motion is to make it 21.
21, okay. I'll
make a
go
motion?
with that.
I second it.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
So it's $21.
Correct.
And that starts next pay.
Correct. Any discussion, other discussion?
Starts next pay period.
Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Capper?
Yes.
Commissioner Branch?
Yes,
Vice Mayor Holmes?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yeah. On to new business. That's the local planning agency recommendation of proposed land development regulation. It was taken to the planning and zoning.
Excuse me.
We recommend. And it was approved by planning and zoning, looks like. Oh, yes, votes on it. So,
And this ordinance is just an amendment to your land development regulations, that I believe you discussed at a workshop, and it is a requirement that before land development regulations be enacted, they be referred to the local planning agency, which in this case is the Planning and Zoning Board. And it was, and they did make their recommendation. And so at this time, it would just be up to you all to determine whether you wish to go ahead and schedule it for first reading. I don't believe it was advertised for tonight, but it needs to have 2 advertised readings to pass. So it's nothing for you to pass tonight, but if you wish to go ahead and accept their recommendation, and just have it scheduled at your next meeting for first reading. Town clerk, I'm sure we'll do that.
I make a motion to accept?
Second.
No. Somebody make a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the recommendation of the land development regulation changes submitted to us by the Land Development Board.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Capper?
Yes.
Commissioner Branch,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Holmes.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes.
So we're going to do this through advertising.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do that.
It'll be advertised for your meeting in January on first
Right,
reading.
first reading.
All right, approval of the 2016 holiday schedule.
Make a motion to approve the 2016 holiday schedule.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion?
I do have actually a question for this year. For the 24th, the Christmas Eve, do we close early here? Or how do,
Up to the mayor, I think.
it's not on the calendar, I'm just asking.
Well, this is a 16 calendar.
I know, but I'm
that's
just
why.
asking for this year because,
The mayor has done it at his discretion at times.
okay, so you don't know.
Discretion thing for me.
Okay,
And if he's in a bad mood, no, they're gonna work on it.
Stay late.
yeah, overtime. Merry Christmas.
I'm sure Mary will make him exercise his discretion.
All right, you have a motion and a second. Mary call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Capper?
Yes.
Commissioner Branch?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Holmes?
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. Public comments. Hearing none, the next regular meeting is January 13th, 2016 at 7 p.m. And a workshop, Mary?
Well, that,
Last Wednesday of January,
it should be January
that's
28th.
2015.
It'll be January 27th. At
Question.
7 p.m.
Just so smart.
28th, not 27th.
So smart. To look down at the ball.
Oh, I'm on 15.
Yeah,
27.
15 calendars don't work in 16. We need a new calendar out here. for all of us.
Wednesday, the 27th next year.
Question.
Yes?
Well, how did everybody like this workshop right before the meeting? Can we do that? Or is that something we have to discuss at a workshop? I don't know, it's just
Workshop just before the meeting?
like we did tonight.
I think we still need a workshop. I think it gives a couple of weeks in between the workshop and the regular meeting to
Think about things.
think about things.
Well, and there are things that come up sometimes at your workshop that you have to have prepared for the regular meeting.
For the
that
regular meeting.
We can
Yeah,
get done in
that's
2
true.
weeks, but we can't get done in 2 months.
You are good, though.
Not that good.
I'm all for cutting out meetings, but that is
Oh,
one.
I just thought,
Lauren's that good.
Me too.
You're right.
One, two,
I'm not that good at long as things.
All right, we expect to see everybody Saturday at the parade, so
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. With that, this meeting is adjourned.
Meeting for real.